Okay, number 12 on the back. You calculate that college costs $19,000 your first year, and it will increase by 10% each additional year. If you take 6 years to complete your bachelor's degree and master's degree, what will the total cost be of your college? So it's asking for the total cost, and it's increasing by 1%. So this is going to be a geometric finite series formula. So you're going to do 1 minus r to the n over 1 minus r. So your first year is 19,000. Because it's increasing by 10%, it's 1 minus 1.0. Oops, I didn't write that right. 1 minus 1.10 to the 6th power. Okay, over 1 minus 1.10. So when you put this in your calculator, make sure you put the numerator in parentheses, and the denominator. So total cost, you want to round to 2 decimals, is about 146,596.59. Okay, so $146,596.59. Okay, number 13, a ball is dropped from a height of 16 feet. Each time it drops, it rebounds to 80% of the height from which it's falling. Find the total distance traveled. So again, and it's 15 bounces. So this is 15 means it's finite, and because this is percent, you're going to use the formula a sub 1 times 1 minus r to the n over 1 minus r. So a sub 1 is 16. 1 minus, it's rebounding to be 80%, and it's 15, because that's a number of terms, over 1 minus 0.80. So again, put the numerator in parentheses, put the denominator in parentheses. Probably going to have to approximate and round. So this is let's see. This is about 69. Okay, 69 feet. So if this ball is dropped, so I drop it from 16 feet, and then it's going to bounce up again like this, and it's going to bounce up again, it's going to bounce up again, it's going to bounce up again, and it's going to do that 15 times. So really what I just found by doing this is I found this right here plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this. So I need to double that. So I need to double it. Okay? So if I double it, and if I double it, I'll get the other side of the first bounce. So I'm going to have to double it and then subtract 16, because I don't want to count the other side of this bounce as well. So if I double it, I'm getting this plus this plus this plus this plus this. So I want to double it, but then I want to get rid of this 16 right here. So the answer will be about 138 feet. Okay, so what I did is if I did this part, I'm getting these, but if the ball's going back up and down, so I have to double it, but I'm starting from up here, so I don't want to add this one twice. Okay, number 14, write an explicit and recursive formula for the sequence. So first we have to see that it is an arithmetic. So the general formula for an arithmetic is a sub n equals the first term plus n minus 1 times 3. So the formula for recursive is going to be a sub 1 equals a sub 1, but we know that a sub 1 is 14, and then a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus 3. Sometimes you see notation that will read for n is greater than or equal to 2 integers. That just means that if we want number of terms, we can't have, that means that we can't have decimal or fraction terms. That's why it's integers. And we've already specified what a sub 1 is, so we're going to start at least 2. You don't need to put this, but just see where that's coming from. Number 15, write an explicit and recursive formula for this sequence. This is a geometric sequence because we're multiplying by -1. So the explicit formula is the first term, which is -12, times the common ratio, which is -1, to the n-1 power. Now I put -1 in parentheses because it's going to make a difference if this is a negative or a fraction, you're taking it to a power. And then the recursive formula is going to be 2 lines. A sub 1 equals the first term. And then to get the a sub nth term, you take the previous one, and then you multiply it by -1. And again, you can add for n is greater than or equal to 2 and n integer. For n integer greater than or equal to 2. Okay, 16, write using summation notation, then evaluate the series. So this is going to be n equals 1, and because there's an ellipses right here, this means that this is going to infinity. So this is a geometric sequence, so I'm going to use geometric series, so I'm going to use the explicit formula for the geometric sequence right here. So the explicit formula is 4, because that's the first term, times your common ratio. So it looks like 4/3 divided by 4 is 1/3. So the common ratio, you're multiplying by 1/3, 1/3. So it's 1/3 to the n-1. So to evaluate the series, it's an infinite geometric series. So and it converges because the r is less than or equal to 1. The absolute value of r is less than 1, excuse me. So you're going to want to use the formula of the first term over 1 minus r. So the first term is 4, 1 minus r. So this is going to be 4 over 2/3. So that's going to be 4 times 3/2. 4 over 2 reduces, so the answer is going to be 6, because 2 times 3 is 6. And then number 17, in the arithmetic sequence, a sub 42 is -210 and a sub 46 is -260. So write an explicit formula for the sequence and find the third term. All right, so I'm given I don't know the common difference. I don't know, I feel like I don't know the first term. I don't feel like I know enough to write down the formula, but I do know that the 42nd term is -210. So this would be the 43rd term, the 44th term, the 45th term, 46th term. The 46th term is -260. So what I could do is I could find the arithmetic mean of these two. That would give me this number right here. So I can add -210 plus -260 and divide by 2. And that gives me -235. Now the reason I'm doing this is I'm trying to figure out what the common difference is. So I know that I can find the arithmetic mean of these two, and that's going to give me -222.5. So now the common difference is -12.5. So I still don't know the first term, but I can use the explicit formula and find that I know that my I can use the explicit formula, so I'm going to write that down, n-1 times d, and fill in what I know. So I know that the 42nd term, so a sub 42 is -210. I don't know the first term, but I know that there's 42 minus 1, or 42 minus 1 because this is the 42nd term and I know the common difference is negative 12.5. So I can simplify this in my calculator and it's negative 512.5. And I could add that to the other side to get the first term is 302.5. So all that work right now is to write my explicit formula and then find the third term. So I have my D and I have my A sub 1. So it's going to be A sub n equals A sub 1 plus n minus 1 times negative 12.5. So now I can plug 3 in to find the third term. So this is my explicit formula. And if I plug in 3, so A sub 3 equals 277.5.